Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The last few years, Iowa's offense has been downright embarrassing. It's been terrible. But yet somehow the Hawkeyes, they keep winning. In 2021, Iowa was averaging just 303.9 yards per game. They were averaging 23.4 points per game, which was 99th in the country. Yet the Hawkeyes went 10-4, rose as high as number 2 in the rankings, won the Big Ten West, lost the championship to Michigan, and then ultimately lost the Citrus Bowl. In 2022, last year, the Hawkeyes were averaging 251.5 yards per game. They ranked 130th out of 131 teams in total offense. They were averaging just 17.7 points per game, 123rd in the nation. Yet they still found a way to go 8-5 with a 21-0 shutout over Kentucky in the Music City Bowl. They scored over 28 points just one time last year, a 33-13 win over Northwestern, yet the team still won 8 games. Regardless, though, the offense still needs some help. The Iowa offense cannot continue to survive like this. In comes Cade McNamara, the Michigan transfer quarterback. Can he save and fix Iowa's offense? That's the question we're going to answer today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad that you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com, and every other exclusive offer we have down there for you. Because, again, guys, here at the Gridiron Expert, college football never dies. The season never ends here at the Gridiron Expert, and we want you, yes, you, to become a part of our GE Nation. We want you to join our conversation. We want you to join our team. And you can do that by liking, you can do that by commenting, subscribing, and hitting that notification button so you don't miss out on any of our future content, including game-by-game predictions for every single college football team coming your way in just a little over a month. You do not want to miss it. So you take a look at Iowa. I mean, obviously they keep winning. They're 18-9 in the last 2 years. They're winning, 2/3 of their game the last 2 years. But this is obviously a team that has relied so heavily on their defense. They're not winning games because of their offense. They're not lighting up the scoreboard. They're scoring points from their defense. They're scoring points from their special teams, not because of their running backs and their quarterbacks are playing good ball. It doesn't matter. A win's a win's a win, even if it's extremely ugly. But you take a look at the offense. I mean, imagine what Iowa could be or could have been had they had a much better offense than what they were dealing with the last 2 years. They need help. In 2020, Spencer Petras took over at quarterback, and Iowa actually in 2020, that COVID year, had a good season offensively. It was a shortened season, of course, but they averaged 31.8 points per game, went 6-2 in that COVID year, started 0-2, won their last 6 games. Petras threw for over 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. 2021, Iowa averaged just 180.1 passing yards per game. Petras threw for over 1,800 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Not all that great, but again, that was the year that Iowa still won 10 games and won the Big Ten West. Last year, people thought, okay, look, 2021 was rough, but we got an experience. He's not great, but we got an experienced quarterback under center. He should take a little bit of a step forward. The offense can't get any worse than it was in 2021, right? Well, it was. The Hawkeyes averaged 156.7 passing yards per game, about 25 yards, roughly worse than they were in 2021. Petras threw for less yards, 1,700 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. It was just downright bad. And we know he faced injuries down the stretch, and we know there was quarterback controversy down the stretch. But regardless, it was a bad offensive year for the Hawkeyes. And yet, again, they still won 8 games and their bowl game. But now in comes Cade McNamara, right? Cade McNamara comes in from Michigan, transferring within the conference. And this is a guy that, back in 2021, beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship game and led Michigan to the college football playoff, where he threw for over 2,500 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, completed 64% of his passes. Obviously Michigan, the last few years, has been more of a run-heavy team. Now, that has been their bread and butter these last few years, the years where they have made the college football playoffs. So McNamara never really had to be the go-to guy at quarterback, but when he was called upon, he played relatively well and was extremely accurate and smart with the football. Can't beat that. It's a quarterback that led your team to a Big Ten championship, quarterback that led your team to the college football playoff before losing to Georgia, who ultimately won the national championship over Alabama. A lot of his Michigan teammates have praised McNamara for the job that he did in Ann Arbor and just the type of player that he is. He's a fierce competitor. He's extremely respected. He's a leader, and he's an immediate upgrade in this quarterback room for Iowa. The last Iowa quarterback to hit 64% on his completions was Ricky Stanzi in 2010. Yeah, remember that name? Great quarterback for Iowa. That's the last guy that hit 64%. I know McNamara didn't do that in an Iowa jersey, but it should kind of tell you the type of quarterback that he is and the potential that he has with the Hawkeyes. An Iowa quarterback has not completed 57% of his passes since 2019. So, needless to say, Iowa has needed an upgrade. They've got one here. Now the question is, can McNamara take them to the promised land? Can they win the Big Ten West? Will the offense take that big of a step where they'll average maybe over 156 passing yards per game, where they'll average over 250 yards per game? Can they do that with McNamara? I believe that they can. But a lot of it could hinder on their offensive coordinator, the coach's son, Brian Ferentz, right? I think a lot of Iowa fans were hoping that he would be let go. But as the head coach, the offensive coordinator is your son. It's really hard to fire a family member, let alone your son. Brian Ferentz needs a big year, and Iowa recognizes that. They know that. Kirk Ferentz has been there for so long. You don't want to challenge his decisions. So what Iowa did is they kind of went in, they revised his contract a little bit. Brian Ferentz, going into this year, has to average at least 25 points per game on the year. That's really not that bad. It's a pretty low mark, although it is over a touchdown more than what Iowa was averaging last year. 7.3 points per game more than what Iowa averaged last year. So it's going to be a significant improvement. But only 25 points per game, and Iowa has to win at least 7 games. Brian Ferentz does that. He keeps his job. Plain and simple. That's the revised contract. Just average 25 points per game, man. You can do it. You can do it. And maybe your defense will actually help you out a little bit with that too, with some defensive touchdowns, and you won't even have to do as much work. Some very low expectations that have been set by the Hawkeyes. But again, you do what you got to do, especially when the offense has been as bad as it has these last 2 years. Again, the Hawkeyes haven't even eclipsed 24 points per game the last 2 years. 2021, they averaged just 23.4 points per game. But you look at this. You got an offense now that's led with a veteran quarterback, a better quarterback. You've got always a pretty decent running game, always a strong offensive line, and a defense that this year some are saying could be even better than the defense that Iowa had last year. Hawkeyes should be in good shape. Hawkeyes should be in good shape. And again, this isn't like it's been a bad team. This is a team that's won 18 games the last 2 years, won 8-5 last year. This is still a team that's going to contend for a Big Ten West crown. And you look at the schedule for Iowa, again, this is a team that could see a 3-0 start. The toughest game, of course, early on, going to be that road game at Iowa State. The road games are tough. Iowa State, not an easy place to play. And in conference play, they've got to go to Penn State, got to go to Wisconsin, to Nebraska, who beat Iowa, beat the brakes off of them in that season finale last year. They do avoid Ohio State out of the East, though. They do avoid Michigan out of the East, though. 7 wins is very attainable for Iowa this year. That is not out of the question. 7 wins is very doable for the Hawkeyes this year. And with a better quarterback under center, I believe Cade McNamara can fix his offense, can take them to the next level. Might not be a very high level, but he's going to take them to the next level and be better than what they've dealt with the last 2 years. You have that, plus an always elite defense, plus one of the toughest home field advantages in college football. Iowa will still be contending in the Big Ten West. Kirk Ferentz has done just about every single year. I would not expect that to change now. They will be a contender in the West. They very well could win this division. Going to be one of the most intriguing storylines to watch in all of college football this year, in my opinion. But beware of the Hawkeyes. Never doubt Ferentz. Never doubt the power of Kinnick Stadium. And I'm going to say right now, don't doubt Cade McNamara. Because I believe his Iowa offense will be a lot better than it was last year. And the Hawkeyes are going to make a little bit more noise than people expect. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com. Again, guys, we want you to become a part of our GE Nation. We want you to become a part of what we're building here at our channel. So check it out, become a part of our nation, join our team. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.